Not bad. I'm used to it now. I've had cut in both eyes, a bunch of cuts all over. I'm used to it.
Now, you mentioned in your post-fight that you knew you could hit the headlock takeover on her because you'd hit it on her before in the Ultimate Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
With so many of the female strawweights coming from the Ultimate Fighter, do you think that gives some of you an unfair advantage because you know each other so well?
Kind of, but I really believe that people change. I've changed a lot since the Ultimate Fighter. You can't really go on, what you experience in the house because, like me, we're going to change. But she went for, the clinch, so it was there for me to throw every time.
There are 5 Canadian women fighting on this card tonight. I mean, what is it do you think is making the Canadian girls so successful right now?
Oh, we're badass. It's the Canadian blood, I guess. We're just hardworking, and there's not a lot of girls out there for us to train with. I think that had a lot to do with it. I'm always training with guys, 24/7, always in the gym, and I think that gives me kind of an advantage.
As a Canadian, is it something you sort of take pride in, seeing the successful women?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's awesome that there's so many women here today, and they're all Canadian. We're representing the Canadian women, and it's awesome. They're all really good, tough athletes. I'm really proud to be on this card with them.
Your striking was really on point, in particular in the first round. How did you feel about the first 5 minutes of the fight and how it went?
It was just, going back to my training camp and going back to, Kara Rowe has been working with me a lot with my hands and trying to, fix them and get them, she told me I got the accuracy, I need to get the power behind it, and we've just been working on that a lot, and it just showed that I've been working hard on it.
In the strawweight division right now, it's pretty wide open. There isn't that guaranteed next challenger for the champion in Joanna right now. What would you like to see in your next fight? Do you feel you're in that conversation now at the top end of that division?
Yeah, definitely. Being 6th in the division right now, I don't know if this moves me up or anything, but I think it's there for anybody to grab. I think Joanna is a great athlete and a great title holder right now, and she kind of stepped up the bar a bit, and I think any one of us can be the next for the belt.
Is there a fight that you look at as just being desirable?
No, I don't look at anything. I just look at one fight at a time. Whoever they give me, I'm training really hard. I want to be able to beat anybody they put up against me, not just one certain person.
How much of a benefit was it having Darren in your corner tonight? Because I know in the third round, in between rounds, going into the third, he really seemed to kind of motivate you to go out there and really try and take that round.
He's an awesome athlete. He works really hard. I work with him every day at Michigan Top Team, and just his motivation, his self-motivation kind of motivates me. Watching him train, watching him fight. He's got so much experience behind him. He's had so many fights in the UFC, and just having him in my corner just gives me more motivation. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So it just helps me even more.
And is the plan to take some time off, or do you want to get right back in there? I know you were waiting forever to get this fight. It finally came about. Are you going to get back in there and try and keep active?
Yeah, definitely. I'm here. I'm not getting any younger. I want to do this as much as I can, and I want to climb to the top as fast as I can. And I'm not looking to jump in right away. Just whatever it comes my way, I'm not going to put it down.
Now, in that second round, you hit Aisling with a barrage of punches from the headlock position, and she rallied back. Were you surprised at her resilience and her toughness? Or?
No, watching her fight, watching her previous fights, she keeps coming at you. She takes the punches and she keeps coming at you, kind of like me. I knew it was going to be a tough fight from the beginning, and I was prepared for it. That's what I expected, and that's what I got.
Can you comment on her statements about being better than you in virtually every dimension when you trained together on Tough, and whether or not that was of interest or import to you going into the fight?
It kind of bothered me, her saying that, it's going to be an easy fight for her. It really bothered me, but, you just go in there and you prove people wrong. That's all I do. That's all I try to do is just prove to everyone I've been working really hard. You can't underestimate me like that. You don't know what I've been doing. You don't know how hard I've been training, how much time I've been putting into this, and I'm just going to show you when I walk in the cage.
Were you fully satisfied with the camp you had? You did slow down a bit towards the end. Do you feel like with a full training camp and complete notice that you would have been able to perform differently or more outstandingly?
I don't know, maybe I would have, maybe not, but I've been in there since my last fight. I was really disappointed with the outcome, and I just went at it right away, and I've been training ever since really hard, and I've been doing CrossFit like 3 times a week, and they've been really pushing me. I think there wasn't one day that I was not exhausted for practice. You can tell my coaches, they're like, you need to slow down, you need to slow down. I'm like, no, I need to do whatever I can to win this. And when they gave me the opportunity to fight in such short notice, I knew I was ready for it.
You've mentioned the CrossFit a few times. Did you feel a lot stronger when you were grappling with Aisling?
Yeah, I felt stronger. I felt like more endurance. I felt like I can keep going. I can keep going. There's nothing that no situation I was put in that I couldn't fight out of because of the amount of fighting I've been doing, at CrossFit, at Michigan top team. So it was normal for me to be in that situation.
And on that same note, you said you were a lot stronger going into this one. Were you more confident going for submissions this time around just because you were stronger? I mean, you almost had her at the end of the first round there. Did you think you were going to get the submission?
She was very slippery. She's very flexible kind of, and I had it for a bit, but it felt her slipping out. So I was like, I'm going to get to a better situation rather than give up my back or something like that. I'm just being more aware of everything, and being stronger definitely helps, but the flexibility I think is a big thing that helps other people. I'm not very flexible, but I'm working on it.
Discussing your training, why did you decide to spend time in Ohio at Strong Style?
Jessica Ai is amazing. She's an awesome striker. She's an awesome fighter, and she's a really down-to-earth, awesome person. I love working with her. She tells me the truth. She's not going to, sugarcoat anything for me. If I need to work on something, she'll tell me right away, and I really trust her judgment. And her team is really, really good. Really supportive, and I like the atmosphere, and just love working with her. I wish she lived a little closer. I could be there every day, along with Michigan top team.
Why do you love the Midwest so much? A lot of people get to the UFC and go to Florida, California. You're from Windsor, train in Detroit, go to Ohio. Not very glamorous.
Well, I love my family. They've been there with me from the beginning, and I don't want to leave them. I'll leave for camps and stuff, but I need that support system. I want that support system, and my family's just they're my rock, and I don't want to leave them.
Talking about Windsor and where you're from, you were named co-Windsor Female Athlete of the Year. What was it like winning a Westby?
It's awesome. It was the first time they've ever recognized MMA, and I'm really honored to be a part of it. I'm really honored to be the first MMA fighter to receive that award. There have been a lot of amazing athletes from Windsor, and to be picked as one of the best, I'm really flattered and really honored, and I hope they continue recognizing mixed martial arts.
How important is it for them to recognize mixed martial arts, especially being a place like Windsor, which is almost synonymous with Canadian hockey?
It's very important. We work really hard, we do grappling tournaments to prepare for fights. We do boxing matches to prepare for fights. We don't just focus on one thing. We got our strength and conditioning. There's so much that goes into just fighting, and not just like being picked as one of the female athletes and a fighter is not enough. I want to show everyone that we're not just brawlers. I don't just go in there and act like an animal and try to win. There's a lot of technique behind it. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of technique, a lot of skill that goes behind fighting, and I think I let everybody know in Windsor because I think a lot of people thought that way of me.
Thanks, Randa.
Thanks, Randa.